Today on the podcast with Magnet Marketing SEO, we have Bryce Coleman and we're talking about direct mail marketing. Now, it's kind of interesting because when you are starting a local business, you're thinking about different ways to get leads and customers. A lot of people instantly are like, go make a website, go start working on SEO. Like these are kind of the things that they immediately think of. Direct mail marketing is often overlooked, but it can have some really interesting results. So today, Bryce is going to be telling us about that. What kind of results are you seeing with direct mail marketing?
Yeah. So direct mail marketing, I feel like people overlook it a lot, just like you said, just because it's kind of seen as old fashioned, like magazines were replaced by websites or, newspapers, blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, direct mail marketing for certain industries and with certain offers is still by far the best way to market some businesses. And so the one that I'm currently getting the most results with direct mail marketing is commercial roofing, actually. Because commercial roofing has a really high ticket. A single job will pay for an entire direct mail marketing campaign, which I can go break down the cost of those a little bit more. But and so it just has a really high ROI. And so anytime you have a really high ticket service and you're targeting business owners, I feel like direct mail marketing makes the most sense. Okay. Also, in certain other situations, direct mail marketing could make a lot of sense. I'm starting playing with the idea of making local mailers where I list multiple companies, because the big issue with direct mail marketing is the cost is pretty high to do with residential. Yeah. So like commercial, it makes a lot of sense because you're paying like 55 cents for a really big postcard, and you get sent it to every single really big roof that in an area, and that's pretty much the bottom dollar cost is 55 cents for the printing, the targeting, the list building, and the mailing. Okay. And so you might be paying, you might usually send out on an average campaign 15,000 postcards, so like 5,000 3 times a year. Okay. So you might send it out in May and then spring or in summertime and sometime in the fall, and then they'll see it 3 times, and usually just from that you end up getting between 10 to 20 leads, and then between those 10 and 20 leads you might convert half of them, and if even half 5 roof installations or replacements or repairs pays a couple $100,000 for the 5,000 or 15,000 postcards. So 15,000 times 55 cents, that's like $8,000 ish. Okay. Roughly is your marketing cost in that scenario, which is probably the most common that I see. And then the nice thing is it's kind of like planting seeds. Over time, it builds on itself. So you might send out a postcard 3 years ago, and that lead hung on to it or took a picture of it and remembered you when they need the roof repaired, and they'll call you 3 years later. And we see that pretty often. Okay.
It's hilarious because I literally have done this before. When I first bought this house, in one of the there was a dead tree out front, and in one of the cupboards there was like a postcard or something or like a business card or something of like a tree service company, and on it was like written down like a quote for like removing the tree or something. So I don't know if it was a mailer or he stopped by or whatever. I have no idea how old this thing was. Right? It was just in a cupboard and there's a dead tree out front. So I move here and I'm like, well, I gotta take this tree taken care of. I don't want to do the research, so I just like literally called that company that I found and had them come.
Yeah, it's convenient.
And when he came, he was like, he did it and whatever. And he's like, yeah, by the way, like, here's my new business card. We've like changed our company, like name and logo.
Everything's changed.
We've changed a lot since then. And I'm like, I have no idea, but this thing was like years old.
That's amazing.
And someone had just held on to it because they got in a quote. And then of course a new owner buys it and gets it and ends up using it.
What a long-term thing.
People hold on to that stuff.
Exactly.
And then a second story of me actually doing this, which this one also makes me, none of these make me feel look really great, but EOS Gym like sends mailers to my house like all the time, like probably the quarterly. They probably have like this whole schedule going. And I signed up for EOS Gym at one point because they've been sending mailers for so long. I'm like, oh, I need to sign up for a gym. And of course, like I haven't been in like 3 months. So like, that's what doesn't make me look really good. But it worked. Like that's just the gym. I looked at a bunch of gyms. They were the cheapest one. They kept sending me the flyers. They had like a discount on the flyer or whatever.
It's present in your mind because you got it in the mail.
It's present in my mind. I signed up for it. Regardless if I go, I'm still like subscribed to it. So I probably should cancel it or start going. But like, you know what I mean? Like it actually works.
And so that's all marketing is trying to get present in people's minds. You need your brand awareness. You need your offer out there, and you can do that any way. You can do it with Google ads, Facebook ads, you could app retargeting, whatever. But direct mail marketing is the most targeted, and that's why I like it so much for things like commercial roofing, where you want to target a very specific type of person. I'm also doing a direct mail marketing campaign right now for a accounting franchise where they want to sign up accountants to own their own business. So they're sending direct mail marketing to all the CPAs. They have a huge list, and I think that campaign is going to work really, really well.
That's cool.
It's so targeted.
How do you make the list of the people you're sending to?
And so that's the interesting thing. There's a lot of lead aggregators where you have to buy the data from them, and that can cost very like wide range of amount of money depending on who you're buying it from.
Gotcha.
My favorite way to do it is you can actually create bots to scrape data yourself. So that's what I'm doing right now. One of the businesses I'm considering playing the idea with is I built the bot that scrapes Zillow data. And so I'm going to take every single month, I'll scrape all the data of everyone who bought a house. And then I'll filter it by home prices. And then everyone who bought a house over $350,000, I'll send them a direct mail a flyer with ads for every one of my clients because I have a couple of local clients. And that cost is really low. You know, if you split the cost between 10 people for a flyer, you know, you're only paying like 5 cents a flyer or less. And then to get it mailed and everything. And so would you be willing to get your offer, like new move-in offer for 5 cents to every single, you know, every person who moves every single month? That's a killer deal. You know,
that's
you
amazing.
say, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Here's all the local contractors that can help you out with anything you need. And you got a landscaper, a home remodeler, a roofer, you know, and then a cleaner, whatever. And then they say, we got a new home buyer discount for 10% off your first whatever service. And I think that will kill.
Yep,
you know?
that will kill. I mean, I know when we bought this house at first, we got like a bunch of flyers and things in the mail. I'm trying to think like if I bought any of them. I mean, definitely that like card that I found in the thing. But yeah, like if you need those things, it's so much easier than being like, oh, how do I find them? Let me go on like, I don't know, like. I go to Facebook Marketplace when I'm like looking for contractors. I feel like those are going to be the cheaper ones.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But it's like, that's still like research. There's just research for everything. If you don't want to research it, if you have it right in front of you and they're giving you a discount and you can see like some sort of price or quote or whatever, just call them. That's the easiest way to go. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that.
And so that's I'm gonna try to recruit, you know, maybe 6 or 7 other local companies and pitch them that. I gotta still calculate how much the cost will actually be. I don't know if it's actually gonna be 5 cents. That's the other thing. There's different types of direct mail marketing. So there's one called EDDM. That's directly through the post office. That's where they take a route. So they have different routes in the zip codes. So you can choose routes like I want to target this route, and it's like this multiple neighborhoods. Like it's usually 5,000 at a time, I think. Actually, I don't remember the exact number, but something around there. Yeah. And then that one's the cheapest thing you can ever do because the post office doesn't have to write the address and they don't have to make it specific. It's just like, I'm going to send out this postcard during my mail route.
Gotcha.
And so the printing and the delivery cost is super, super cheap. If you have a really good offer that you just want to target entire neighborhoods for, like for example, if there was a hailstorm and you're a roofing contractor, you want to get every single person that got affected by that hailstorm, a little advertisement, that is by far the best way to do it.
Genius.
Versus actually doing the direct mail marketing where you have to like have a stamp and you have to have their address and their name, and that costs a lot more money.
Have you I'm just like so curious because I feel like there's so many different strategies with that. Like I've seen ones where it looks like it's like handwritten by pen, where they're like, we want to make you an offer on your house.
Most advanced, like there's different tiers. You know, EDDM is like the bottom tier. It's like
a postcard.
And it's super cheap. It's going to cost you a few cents per. But the most expensive and best, in my opinion, is one through SendJim. That is the coolest. They have different. You subscribe to their software, and then they have a really cool software. You can target zip codes. You can target neighbors. You can target sync it to your CRM so you can send text messages and voicemail drops to the neighbors at the same time as you send cards.
Gosh,
and you can, and everything is credit based. So you buy like a set of credits and then like a handwritten postcard. They have like a machine that does it. But a handwritten postcard might cost 20 credits versus like a normal postcard is 10 credits. And then they have other things too. They can send brownies. Like for example, if you want to submit like all the customers who signed up with you for your pest control service, after 1 month, you want to send them a brownie. And so they all get a package of brownies with a handwritten card that says, we appreciate your subscription, blah, blah, blah. We thank you for trusting us. You could do that and you could automate all of it.
That's so cool.
It can get really, really personalized for not that expensive. Most things are still only a couple dollars, but compared to like 3 cents, that's really expensive. But in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, to get a real motivated customer base, it's very worth it.
No, I love it. I think it goes a long way. I remember the brownie one reminds me. I had a guest on my podcast, and it was a big company, and their office afterwards sent me like brownies in the mail. Yeah. And it was like, I don't know, it feels like so cool.
It's cool, right?
I mean, like
they're thinking of you and like
exactly.
It's like they're dating you. They're courting you.
Like they came on the podcast for free just because I wanted to interview them because they're interesting. But like they're getting exposure, I'm getting content. It's like a win-win. But still, like they go above and beyond and do that, right? Then you feel.
And so when companies go above and beyond with that, and I feel like it makes a customer for life.
Totally.
You're definitely going to get a.
Oh my gosh,
you're definitely going to get people who are telling other people, and the actual cost might be $10. It's not a huge huge deal for a company that is profitable.
Totally, yeah. Especially when it's like, yeah, they're subscribed to your pest control, or they're subscribed to your, like on your solar, or like some sort of reoccurring thing where you're like making money. It's like make them happy, you know.
Exactly.
It's like,
and there's other gifts besides brownies. The brownies is my favorite, but they have different options of things to send and different ways to do postcards, and it's really cool. I like
super cool.
I'm using that for one client right now, and it's pretty fun.
I think this whole area is so fascinating. If you're interested in getting into this space with marketing, definitely contact Bryce. He's going to be able to give you a breakdown and show you exactly how this is going to help your business or niche specifically. He's got a lot of insider info on that. Make sure to do that. We'll leave links in the show notes for information on all of that. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you are listening to this podcast. Hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day.